drive home. And boy, does he have stories to tell. Calgary Today with Joe McFarland on 770 CHQR.
Well, thank you to everyone for weighing in on all of the fun political excitement going on in the world. Jody Wilson-Raybould having her testimony today, still being questioned right now. Michael Cohen having his moment to south of the border. One person texting in saying gang mentality from Trudeau and Croonies. She schooled Sunnyways. Appropriately, it is hashtag anti-bullying day. Well, it is the kind of day where you need a good bottle of wine, and we have Mike Roberts from Co-op Wine Spirits Beer here, a sommelier. You must be very popular on days like this when people are trying to get the most out of their politics.
People have had enough and they need something good in their glass, hey?
It's time.
I'm not going to lie, I have totally shut off on all of this stuff. I just can't handle it anymore. So I live in a dreamland where these things don't exist, but I don't know how long that'll last. But
well, and we were chatting a little bit off the air about this wine, and this is the best way to describe this would be a nonpartisan wine. It's like the Switzerland of wine.
It totally is, which is awesome, and it's hilarious that it ended up being that way. I describe this wine and wine styles like this as being democratic or egalitarian, and then you said nonpartisan, which makes lots of sense, because a lot of times people want to buy a wine for a gathering or a party or dinner or whatever it is, but we all have our different tastes, right? So if you have a group that you need to appease, there's spectrums in wine, and you don't want to lean too far to the left or too far to the right. You want to kind of land yourself in the middle, and this is a great wine that does that.
What is this wine? Let's first give out the name.
It's called Evolution, and it's from a winery called Sokol Blosser. So that's the family's name. The last name is Sokol Blosser. And this has been in our market, I want to say it first came here about 2004. And Calgarians have loved it for that whole time.
Where is it from? It's
from Oregon, in the Willamette Valley, and it's a really unique blend of kind of a hodgepodge of different white grapes. The lead one being Sylvaner Riesling. There's some Semillon here. There's Sauvignon Blanc and Gewurz and Chardonnay and all kinds, Pinot Gris and all kinds of other stuff in there. So
well, and this, I don't really know why I smell wine. I'm not nearly as, I don't know nearly as much as you, but the first scent of this is, it really doesn't have a sharpness to it to me.
Mm-hmm. And that's what's kind of neat, because you have all these different grape varieties. Some of those that I just mentioned would land typically in that like dry and you say sharp kind of category, right? And there's also Pinot Gris and Muscat and Gewurz and Riesling, where you kind of go into more exotic fruit and softer on the nose and softer on the palate. And so what happens is you bring all those together and you kind of get the best of both worlds, right? So you've got citrus fruit and lime and grapefruit and things like that in there, but then you've also got, pineapple and melons and all kinds of tropical and exotic fruits as well. So it makes
almost
for a
has
really
an apple
flavor profile. Absolutely, lots of apple in there from the Chardonnay for sure.
Yes, high five. Finally done it.
Yeah.
So tell us what the price point on this one would be.
It's on sale right now for $16.99, which is about $8 off. So it's a pretty good savings, pretty good deal. And a great wine. It feels really, isn't amazing. It feels really warm outside right now.
I know.
It's probably really not all that warm, but
expectations.
Perspective, I suppose, hey? But a great wine for when the weather's warming up. It's really great to cocktail as well, right? Like, it's kind of dangerous, I would say. You can just sit and sip on it and chat and catch up and discuss all this politics and all these things that are going on. But it'd be really good if you grabbed some Indian food on your way home, some curry, maybe something from Wok Box or something like that, something with a little bit of spice kick to it, or an Asian dish, something along those lines. Or even like sushi and sashimi, and it's pretty easy going in that sense.
I feel you would struggle to find something this wouldn't taste good with.
Yes, I agree.
It's a very neutral, mild, but not. It still has a ton of flavor.
And I think there's lots of flavor for sure, lots of fruit flavors in there, but it's not quite dry and it's not quite sweet. It's kind of both, which is why it works so democratically. It kind of makes everyone happy. If you usually really love Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Grigio, there's enough freshness and acidity and dryness in there that you'd be happy. And if you're like my wife or other people, you really like Riesling or Moscato, some of that sweeter stuff, this kind of tricks you and makes you think it's actually sweeter than it really is, right? So it manages.
It's all things for all people.
It is, right?
This is a dangerous wine.
Yeah.
Now, tell me about the event that you guys have coming up.
We've got Grapescapes coming up March 23rd. So in the spring, we just do it for the one day on the Saturday. And ticket sales are super brisk and getting close to being a sellout. It'll be a sellout for sure. 110, 115 booths. We called it Grapescape when we started about 20 years ago. And it's evolved. So now it's 120 booths or so, and it's local breweries, now all the local distilleries and international distilleries. You might be able to try some pre-made cocktails. Even lots of booths actually whip up little mini cocktail samples you can have. So it's not just wine anymore. It's all things libations and deliciousness, and we'll have all kinds of action happening down there.
I've heard it said that we are very fortunate here in Calgary in the number of varieties of wine that we bring in, that we're unusual in how many we have.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, man, I had the numbers on me not too long ago, but registered SKUs with the AGLC or Connect Logistics, where we all get our product from, it's like 25,000. So in stock is not quite that much. And to put it in perspective, and so that's just wine.
Right.
But the LCBO in Ontario's entire catalog of wine, spirits, and beer is less than 9,000.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And we have, it's like 16,000 wines or something that are currently in stock at Connect Logistics for us. Like we have probably the best selection on the continent.
That's incredible.
It is.
Now, when you're dealing with a wine like this that doesn't fall quite into a category, is it difficult to steer people toward it, or is it one that if they, trust you on it once, that they keep coming back? I have to think this is a favorite once people have tried it.
It's a fantastic question because a lot of us shop by Chardonnay, Riesling, Cabernet Sauvignon, whatever it is. And of course, this doesn't tell you that. There's a whole category there of sort of just branded wines in whites and reds that you sort of rely on because of the brand and that expectation. And they tend not to change too much vintage to vintage. That's the goal of the winery, is to keep it a consistent product. And so this falls into that category. And that category seems to go up and down from time to time, depending on what the trend is. But you're right, once people taste this and realize just how easygoing it really is, you kind of get hooked on it, right? I mean, it's so diverse. You can, like I say, watch the Flames game tonight and kind of sip on this.
Oh, no, we're watching politics tonight.
Oh, okay, yes, we can have a debate.
Let's be realistic.
The debate will get more and more interesting, of course, and louder as we go through the bottle of wine, right? But yeah, I mean, you could just use it in so many different situations. If you're having just casual cuisine, that's great. Or even, like I say, stop and get some takeout on your way home. It'd be perfect.
This is amazing. Once again, the name of it is?
It's Evolution.
And the price point?
$16.99 right now. It's on sale, about $8 off. So
this is another one. Last week when I was in, we had another beauty, and this is going to be another photograph that I have to take with me because this is amazing. You've had 2 winners in a row.
Yes.
Like really good. This is incredible. Again, if people want information on Grapescape,
go to coopwinespiritsbeer.com and you'll see the Grapescape link right on our main page there. You can buy tickets online. You're $65 to get in the door, and that covers all your food and wine samples and beer samples and all that stuff. It's great. And we fully expect it to be sold out before the date for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Have a great afternoon.
It is 4:17.